Hey everybody, Derek here to bring another video for Z Nation. And what I'm going to do in this video is talk about whether 10K and Cassandra will finally form some kind of a relationship in Season 2. I think it's one of those big topics in Z Nation that we, really have been wondering ever since they first met. I think they definitely have a very interesting relationship, and, it really makes you wonder what their future will be. So I'm going to give my thoughts on that and let you guys know what I think may happen. Pasay Pao, the actress that does play Cassandra, I read some interviews that she gave to some people to kind of help me a little bit with this. So I am very glad that she was able to provide those interviews for people to get this information out, get us all excited for Z Nation. I think it's definitely something that we're all looking forward to, and I definitely thank her for being able to provide some of this information to those individuals that she gave interviews to. So just in case you guys are not caught up with Z Nation and you do not want to be spoiled, this video will contain spoilers. Okay. So when we last left off Z Nation Season 1, Cassandra was definitely in a very different position than she was in Season 1. She's now a zombie human hybrid. I guess that's the best way to put it. She had injured herself in her leg, cut herself with barbed wire on a fence. The wound got infected, and she was basically on her deathbed. And Murphy bit her on the cheek. She comes back as kind of like this zombie human hybrid and attacks Kurian's guards and is able to, in a sense, save the group. And now that she's basically somewhere where we know that she's gonna connect up with Murphy, because of the fact that the trailer shows that she does reconnect with Murphy, and 10K, Doc, and Warren are on their own as well. But I think the group is going to connect up relatively quickly. I don't think it's going to take too long. I think maybe 3 episodes at the most. And when they get back together, you know exactly what's going to happen. Well, first thing to note about 10K and Cassandra, some of the things that they have in common. They are roughly young. I would say that 10K would probably be about 18, 19 years old, maybe. And Cassandra would probably be in her late 20s. That's my best estimate there. So they are relatively close in age. You also have to take into consideration that, Mac and Addie are together in a sense, so you can't really fall in love with them. Doc's a little bit older than Cassandra is. Warren, again, maybe there's a little bit of an age difference there for 10K. So really, in a sense, they really are it for each other. Sometimes you get forced into those circumstances where if there's nobody else available, then you generally may fall in love with the only other available person that there is. But I think there's a little bit more than that with them. I think that they do have a connection at least. They're both fighters. We've seen that they definitely have the ability to take out zombies, defend themselves. We see that they are survivors. And I think that they both come from very tough circumstances, having to do tough things to survive. 10K having to kill his father whenever he became a zombie, and of course, Cassandra having to survive in Philadelphia with the cannibals. Probably something that was even tougher than any of them has had to go through. So I think they can identify with each other through those similar circumstances. We really haven't seen a lot of connection though in regards to like dialogue between the two, anything that would seem to indicate that they were falling in love with each other. It's more, indirect signs like Cassandra putting her hand on 10K's leg whenever that car was spinning, whenever the tornado hit, and then of course, 10K frequently carrying Cassandra when she was wounded, especially in that last episode, the way that he reacted whenever she did, when she was left in that room. I think you can tell that there is a connection there. However, that may change as a result of what has happened to Cassandra. I think that that's something that will be weighing on everybody's mind as we go into Season 2. What exactly is Cassandra going to be doing as a result of being bit and changing into something different, a zombie human hybrid similar to Murphy? How is that going to change her and how's that going to change 10K? And I think that that is going to, make a little bit of a difference in the story. You can't really deny that, when somebody goes through a change in some way, that can make a difference in a relationship. There's obviously different kind of changes that can happen between individuals. They grow closer, they grow further apart based on circumstances. And I think that, when Cassandra got bit and became what she's become, I think that that is something that 10K is going to struggle with a little bit. And in fact, Pasay Pao did say in the interview that 10K would struggle with that. And I think that it is very clear that he would. We really don't know what this virus does to people. And plus, when you mix it with a potential cure, what exactly is it going to do to Cassandra's, not only her body, but her mind, and everything else that's associated. And I think that along the way, we might see exactly what she's going through. Because first off, from Cassandra's perspective, I think that she is going to be struggling with this. Exactly what? I'm not sure. I mean, in the trailer, what's very interesting is that, she's dressed in very provocative clothing that really shows, more skin than what we may be used to, seeing in general everyday life when people dress. She's wearing that kind of clothing. When Murphy's around her, like she smiled. It looked almost in a seductive manner. If you watch the trailer, you can see what I'm talking about. And then plus, Cassandra jumping onto the back of a car and, biting that person and ripping their throat out or ripping a piece of skin off or something, that shows that she may be changing not only physically, but also, mentally, emotionally. And I think that that's something that we might see in Cassandra that from 10K's perspective, he may not like, or it may be concerning to him. I kind of seen along the way that Murphy has changed because of potentially the virus and the effects that it's had on him, plus the cure. You see him physically changing. I mean, you saw his body, his skin was just, becoming more crusted, more dead looking like. And of course, he shed his skin, and now his skin's pretty much blue, which almost, gives off like a zombie kind of look. So, what's going to happen to Cassandra? Is the same thing going to happen to her? Is she going to start to go through those various changes? And, from 10K's perspective, if she does, I think that would be concerning to him. I don't think that Murphy was really anything pleasant to look at. And not just that, but, what is it going to do to her body? We really don't know. And, that may be a problem. Plus, the other thing is also really about, again, how I've talked about the mental aspect of it. Murphy, I think, has become more like a villain, kind of, with his actions. Him opening the door and letting that zombie going in to bite those that wife and daughter, because the zombie was the father slash husband. Him doing that was a little concerning. Plus, you also have the fact that he's biting people, the fact that, he did make that guy shoot himself. I mean, I'm not saying that that wasn't, justified. I mean, the guy, after all, did kidnap him. But you see Murphy doing these things, and you've seen how he's changed from being more of like this, complaining, lazy hindrance to somebody who really has accepted their powers, has seen exactly what these powers can do, and has become a very powerful influence. Plus, the fact that he is biting people may mean that he is hungering for flesh, and that might be something that, is going on with him. Like there's this internal struggle to, fight the potential zombie qualities that you may have. And I think that that's something that we may see in Cassandra. The way that she was acting in the trailer, first off, you wonder, is Murphy controlling her? And if that's the case, how is 10K going to feel about that? Well, probably pretty upset. But the other thing is how much of that is Cassandra, being changed by the virus in an emotional, mental way. Is she going to latch on to more of those zombie qualities? Because you can't forget that Cassandra was a cannibal, along with Tobias's group. I mean, I'm assuming that she ate the human meat like everybody else did. So, I mean, she has lived that kind of a life. And it makes you wonder if some of those qualities that she had while she was surviving with Tobias's group is going to, carry over now that she's been bitten and now that she's become this hybrid. Is that something that's going to, challenge her? And how is she going to feel about that? Because we may see that Cassandra's having an internal struggle as well, that she doesn't want to have these feelings, but that it may really be an internal conflict and something that she would have to overcome. And I think that that is something that we will be seeing next season, and really seeing how these two really accept the new positions that they're in. What will the virus be doing to Cassandra? And I think that that's another part because Cassandra, the actress Pasay Pao, did say that Murphy is still transforming. And, I think that along the way, as he transforms, I think that his effect on people that he, bites or has contact with, I think will change. I mean, after all, he bit the guy, and I don't think he ever, I don't know if he necessarily couldn't mind control him or if he just didn't try, but how the guy got shot and didn't die, well, or when he died, he didn't become a zombie, that may be one step, but since he's continued to transform, will he have different powers, different effects? And as a result of, coming in contact with other people, will they be different? I think that that is very possible. That Cassandra may not necessarily become exactly like Murphy. She may only become half like Murphy. She may, become different. Maybe not something as bad, maybe something worse. Different things affecting her in different ways, and that might make a difference as well. Cassandra may not, physically change. She just may remain the same way, and that might just be how the zombie virus, this cure that we have, how it fights the zombie virus. Kind of reminds me of like 28 weeks later, how the kid that had the two different colored eyes, when he was bitten, he didn't turn into a zombie, and it was a different kind of reaction. And, it really makes you wonder if Cassandra would have a different kind of reaction as well, or if that's exactly what the zombie virus, the cure, that's what it does. Is that it does change you somewhat, but that it doesn't make you what Murphy is. There's a lot of different possibilities that we have going with that, but I think that that's going to play a big factor in determining whether they will get together or not. Plus, you also have to wonder with the girl that Murphy had relations with, someone we know as Pie Girl from the Sisters of Mercy compound. We know that she's going to be back. It has been confirmed that she is pregnant with Murphy's child. And what kind of effects is that going to have on her? We don't know. I mean, we've seen different media like Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 remake, how that baby was like it was a zombie. That's the best way to put it. And how it affected the mother. How her belly became, very had veins. It was discolored. I mean, it affected her because she was bitten. But it really makes you wonder if that is something that might scare Cassandra. Realizing, maybe it isn't a good idea to, have children now. Maybe the zombie virus is not going to allow us to procreate as a result of my circumstances. And that may be something that drives a rift between Cassandra and 10K, or it just might be that Cassandra is so concerned about what she might do to 10K, and vice versa, that they may not want to engage in any kind of love at all. Like maybe Cassandra is worried that she's going to bite 10K and infect him because that's something that she can't overcome. Or again, if they do have relations and Cassandra does end up pregnant, that may be a very bad situation. So we may see that them observing how the zombie virus affects other people, again, can be something that really makes them not want to become an item, makes them want to turn away from each other. And plus, the other thing that you really have to wonder is, will Brittany make a reappearance? The sniper from Welcome to the FU Bar. It really would seem like they have more of an established connection on the show than Cassandra and 10K do, because they just haven't had a lot of time together where we could explore these connections. And it really makes you wonder, if she is reintroduced, how is that going to affect the story? That hasn't been confirmed yet, but we also can't, deny that it might happen. And it may not even happen this season. It might happen later down the road. I mean, these are not things that may necessarily get resolved in season 2. These may continue for as long as the show is on. But I just think that with a lot of the things that are going on right now, based on the interviews that Pasay Pao gave, and just based on, the way that the zombie virus has made its way into Cassandra's body, I just don't think that a relationship is something that will happen right away, or if it does, they're really going to have to overcome a lot of different obstacles. And I think that it's something that we may not see in season 2. I think we may see them realize their feelings for each other, maybe, but again, that since there's this barrier between, between them, Cassandra being part zombie, part human, and 10K being just human, that may be something that they can't overcome, or it may just be that they're scared to even try, because of just all the things that Cassandra is going through. And I think that the entire season will be seeing exactly how they feel, and really trying to see what is Cassandra's struggle going to be like, and is it something that 10K is going to help her through? I think he will. And it may just be that it drives more of an impact to go get the cure, because maybe there is a chance that this can be reversed, that if they do give Cassandra an actual cure, that she would transform back into a human. That's entirely possible. And it may be that 10K has this passion to continue on with the mission because he thinks that he can save Cassandra. And I think that we may see that as part of his inspiration and part of his story next season, to try to save her. So lots of different possibilities, but I think the premiere will definitely answer a lot of these questions, or at least as we go along, see how the two are interacting with each other, see how they're going to overcome their obstacles, and see what their relationship will be like. But those are my thoughts on the matter right now. I want to thank everybody for watching. I'm going to bring this video to a close. If you guys have any questions or comments, don't be afraid to leave them. Feel free to subscribe. I do have more videos coming. If you guys have any other suggestions that you would like to see for videos, don't be afraid to suggest them. We are getting closer. We are just a little over a month away from the premiere in September, and I'm really looking forward to it and what it has to offer. I want to thank everybody that has been watching, everybody that has been supportive of this channel. I really appreciate it, and I thank you all very, very much. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and thank you very much for watching.